Hi everyone, welcome to Immigration Talk Show. I'm your host Sam with my co-host Nipasa Pradhan, and you're watching Daily Immigration Dose that is streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT. So, hi Nipasa, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Sam. Thank you so much, and glad to be here today. I hope all of you folks are doing wonderful. It's a Friday after all, but thank you so much, nevertheless, for joining us here and not missing out on this important information. And before we head on with today's discussion, I think yes, I'm going to read this disclaimer. So, by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, I hope you keep that in mind, friends. And yes, we're streaming live right now on YouTube and on X. So, check us out and join us in this conversation by commenting or dialing this number where you can call in 425 436 6335, and the access code is 988 888.
And
So,
friends, we are
yeah.
also available on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on Instagram as well. So, do follow us on these many platforms, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Okay, and talking about today's topic is again a very important one and a very, a must needed one. Starting in the US, here's what can get your F-1 visa cancelled instantly. So, Nepasa, recently, there are so many things that's happening, and we have been hearing that 5,000 international student visas have been revoked by US immigration authorities by ICE is due to some updates in SEVIS, the system that tracks student records. And because ICE also found that these students' records in the SEVIS showed some possible violations of the visa rules. So it's little difficult to digest that 5,000 international student visas have been revoked because they have been claiming that there are some violations that happen. So soon we are going to let you know, guys, that there are different types of violations also. If you are an international student or someone whom you know, then I think please share the link of this video, this webinar, because it's really going to be very important for all of you guys, because we are going to understand that even small mistakes, small errors, doesn't matter if it's happening intentionally or unintentionally, things are becoming stricter, so you may lose your chance of studying in the USA. So I think that is the gist of the topic in today's webinar. And what do you have to say, Nipas, on today's webinar?
Well, what can I say? It's crazy because wherever you see, it's all about students and their visa status, the visas getting revoked. So a lot is
Mhm.
happening. I don't think it's just one thing, Sam. So, yes, and recent developments, they have really put thousands of students at risk due to even minor visa rule violations, right? So every law, every rule matters, and I hope that each one of you are pretty ready to follow each and every rule. And I hope that you didn't commit anything too big, before. I mean, earlier, that will make you fall in trouble right now, and especially that if you're studying here in the US or planning to, there are few things that you should really know, to avoid serious consequences. And I think knowledge is power. I will never, no matter what. So make it a point that you try to learn more, stay curious, because things are changing, and it's important to know. So yeah, keep yourself updated.
That's right. And with that, I think let me go ahead with my news update first that I have find out. And this is very important news, friends. That is about DV 2026 Green Card Lottery results are out. So the US Department of State has announced the results for the DV 2026, that is Diversity Visa Lottery, also known as the Green Card Lottery. The results are out for this. And if you have applied between October 2nd and November 7th, 2024, then you can now check your status online through the official website, that is Entrant Status Check. Also, make sure, friends, that you are not falling into any other trap. You have to be aware of scams because the US government does not send any emails, any DMs, or letters about the selection. So always check your results only via the official portals, because right now there are so many scams that's happening. So you make sure that you are not going to fall in any of these traps. And also, if you're selected, then I think being chosen doesn't guarantee a visa. Of course, if your name is in their lottery list, then that doesn't mean that you are selected. You must submit Form DS 260. Also, you have to await an interview appointment. And also, you have to pass the visa interview. That's very important one. And the application deadline is September 30th, 2026. Again, I'm repeating, September 30th, 2026 is the application deadline. The countries that are not eligible, like China, Brazil, and Nigeria, are excluded due to high US immigration rates. So stay alert, friends, and follow official instructions to secure your chance at a US green card. And that is the news from my end. And Nipasa, please go ahead and let us know about the another news update.
Sure, Sam. And this is something we discussed yesterday also on Daily Immigration Dose, friends. And the news is that green card holders, they are also got to take note, because here in the United States, it has been issued that a stern warning, to all green card holders as well, that break the law and you could lose your legal status. So it's very important, especially if you look out and in social media also recently, the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, that is USCIS, in coordination with the Department of Homeland Security, they have emphasized that holding a visa or a green card is a privilege, not a right. And US stated that, our rigorous security vetting does not end once you've been granted access to the US. If you break the law, there will be consequences. So I really hope that everybody keeps this in mind. And this message, comes as part of the ongoing crackdown on immigration violations, reminding lawful permanent residents that legal status can be revoked if they violate US laws. So keep that in mind. Do not break any laws and know your laws. I think that's only when you will be aware and you will, knowingly avoid such things that will keep you or make you fall in trouble. So stay informed, stay compliant. I would say your immigration future depends on every step you take. And of course, friends, to stay updated, you can subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Check us out. We are not just here on YouTube, but you can also check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and on Instagram as well. So connect with us and ring that bell so that whenever we have discussions like these, you're notified. And why not share this with your friends and folks who would also benefit from the information that we've got to share here?
That's right. And friends, the great thing is that you can also join us right now on this live conversation by dialing up this number, that is 425-4366-335, with the access code 988888. So grab this opportunity and get a chance to talk with us on this live conversation and share any of your experience or anything that you want us to know about. Okay, so I think let's move ahead with our very first segment of today's topic, that is starting in the US. Here's what can get your F-1 visa cancelled instantly. So, talking about a recent incident, friends, we have been aware that 5,000 international students have been revoked by ICE due to updates in SEVIS. And the good thing is that also ICE has reversed this decision and restored the student visa status. Because in some cases, there have been found out that there wasn't much serious violations. Some could have been minor errors or misunderstandings that's happened, and that is why, after legal challenges from students, teachers, faculties, and also education groups, ICE decided to reverse the decision and to restore the visa. And this is something that may happen this time, luckily or by chance, or maybe they have gone through each cases one by one, and then they got this thing that maybe these errors are not that big, that they can face these huge consequences. But friends, that doesn't mean that you have to be careless, or you can't be very aware about these things, because maybe right now US authorities are making their rules very strict, and any student who is going to break any rule or anything, violate the law, they can still be removed from the country. Doesn't matter how many days will be there or how much time will be given to that particular student. If you are going to violate any rule, any law, then of course action will be taken immediately. So this is something that you have to make sure that you are not violating any rule. What are those rules, and also, what are the different types of violations that you have to keep in your mind? We are going to let you know. Napasa is going to shed light on that topic as well. But before that, also let me give you an example. For example, there's a student named Priya who's studying in the US on an F-1 visa, and she forgets to update her address in the SEVIS system and after moving to a new apartment. So till now, of course, this is something violating the law again, but till now the rules, or the actions have not been that strict. But if you're thinking that it's just the address, you can update maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then of course not. It's not going to happen that way. You have to be very particular that each of your actions, are being recorded. So you have to take care that your address is updated. Also, for example, if there's an international student who starts working part-time off campus without getting permission from the DSO, that is designated school official, or applying for CPT or OPT, then this is again, violating the rule. You can't justify, you can't say that you are willing to study or you are willing to work. These things are not applicable in front of the authorities. So they are very particular about what visa you are having, and what are your status, what are your actions, even if you're studying or not. So every small little details are being captured, are being tracked. So I think it's very high time, Napasa, right? Because yesterday also we had a topic about permanent residency. So everything is like on the verge right now. So it's really, for immigrants, it's quite difficult and quite challenging. But I think if they're going to follow the rules and are fully updated, then nothing is going to happen to them.
Absolutely. I think there's no problem for people who have been following rules and regulations, and they're pretty aware, they keep themselves up to date, and people like them, I don't think there's anything to worry about, and it's always best to keep yourself updated. The only problem, I think, is the uncertainty, because we don't know who's watching us. The scrutiny is so much more, and every step is being judged, and every time you're being watched. So I think it's most important to be very careful, be respectful. I think that's something that should just come along. You are a human being, and attitude matters. So see that you're kinder, and I think you should just be wiser, educate yourself, and things should fall in place. Let's not worry too much. But yes, coming back to our topic of discussion, Sam, like you were asking about the kinds of violations,
Yeah.
right? So there are going to be two types. One is immigration violence, which is like non-criminal, like and another one is criminal violations. So I'll take one at a time, and let's go with immigration violence, which is like non-criminal but serious. So suppose, recently, immigration lawyer also, Prashant Ajmera, explained that not all violations are criminal, and immigration violations involve breaking the rules of your visa. So, common violations include not maintaining full time enrollment, overstaying the authorized duration, working off campus without permission, or even starting a business without approval. So failing, to update your address or school in CVIS can also lead to serious consequences. So these are some violations which are immigration related and non-criminal but very very serious, and these can result in CVIS termination, deportation, and even bans of 3 years to 10 years, or ban from even re-entering the US ever again. So these are things you would not like, right? And it's very important to see. I mean, I don't know what is your status here in the US, whether you're a student or a businessman or, working under an H-1B. No matter what, you're a citizen and you're in another country. So make sure that you know every law and be respectful to each and every law. Do not break any laws. And of course, the other type, Sam, is criminal violations, which are legal trouble and deportation. So criminal violations, if you talk about it, they overlap with immigration laws and can have severe outcomes as well. Offenses like underage drinking, drinking under influence, driving under influence, DUI, fraud, shoplifting, or even drug possession can lead to visa revocation and removal from United States. So it's very important that you're not doing anything illegal anywhere in the world. Actually, if you're doing anything illegal, something in that country that's illegal, you will be charged, you will be punished once you're caught. So it's best not to avoid, especially in a country where you're which is not your own, where you've just gone as a migrant. And yeah, so the US has interconnected databases, allowing law enforcement to easily track and cross reference student data. So these offenses will not only impact your immigration status but can also create, long term legal troubles. And that is going to reflect throughout your whole life, or even, in your career, wherever you have your certificates, it's going to show. You're always going to be asked about. So avoid things like these, especially if you do not want to violate anything.
Absolutely. And one thing, Napasa, we can also see the pointers when you were going through the immigration violations, right? I mean, those were not new. Overstaying visa
Exactly.
and also, working off campus, not changing the address. I mean, these are the pointers that is existed
Have
from
existed,
the
yeah.
time, yeah, from the time the immigration term we get to know. So it's not something new. The only thing is that the
Exactly.
way to handle these rules are being changed, right? The things are becoming stricter, but the rules are the same. The rules are not changing, friends. The rules are same, only the way to handle it, it's becoming more stricter. So there's nothing wrong in that because, if the time, it's little, of course, change that people might take some time to adapt it. But I think after 4 years or 5 years, or maybe after, maybe we don't know, a year only, they'll be okay with all these rules. Maybe they are thinking right now it's very difficult, it's very strict, but it's just the matter of adaptation, and it's just the matter of adjusting yourself in a current scenario. So go ahead, friends, and nothing to worry, all is good, and you just have to go with the flow. Okay, and let me also talk about the consequences, because if we are going through the pointers of the violations, then let's also understand what will be the consequences of visa violations. So, if you're going to violate any of the visa, then you will firstly, of course, your visa may be revoked, not only for the international students, but for anyone, for green card holders or for temporary workers, and you are no longer authorized to stay in the US. Next, the consequences will be deportation, and we, of course, don't want this to happen with any one of you. But if you're caught violating any visa rule, then you may be deported and forced to leave the US immediately. Now, this is something, friends, you have to pay attention. When I talk about immediately, it's nothing that you're going to get a second chance, or maybe there will be a court hearing. The actions might take immediately, then and there only. So be very particular that you are not violating any rule. Also, another consequences will be there will be 3 or 10 years of ban. Yes, after deportation, you could face 3 or 10 year ban from re-entering the US. A visa violation, leading to a long ban from applying for a new US visa, you can't also do that. Next, there will be also difficulty obtaining future visas, because whenever you get any red mark on your status or on your paper, it will be difficult for the immigration officers also to give you the permission to come back to the US or to re enter the US. So it's better not to have that negative mark on your status. It's better to have a clear and clean record. So that will be easy. And if you're going to violate any visa terms, then this can make it harder to get any future visa in the future. So this is what the consequences will be, and friends, just make sure that you're not going to violate any visa. And also, Napasa, with the rising tensions and rising problems, there are so many misconceptions and so many myths are also taking place. So it will be better if you can also let us through some common myths regarding the topic. Then that will be easier for our audience to understand.
Sure, Sam, sure. It'll be my pleasure. And but I'll quickly like to say hello to Sunita and Ranjit. Hi, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will take up your comments, but for now, just stay with us. So, just directly into the myths, Sam. It's been like, when you look at it, a popular myth is that only criminal acts lead to visa cancellation, but that's really not true.
Biggest
In
myth,
fact,
yeah.
yeah, it's really not true. There are so many things. So Mamta Shekhawat, founder of grading.com, well, she highlights that even non-criminal actions like incorrect paperwork, false information, like or misrepresentation, or questionable social media activity, all of these things, can get your visa revoked, and sometimes even a small form error, has really led to delays on outright denial. So I think there are so many things that can really make you fall in trouble, especially in the world of social media today. You're being watched, and everything is being recorded. Like what you're like what you're saying, what you're doing, who you're supporting, what language you're using, so stuff like that, and anything. So you're being watched. Remember that. So it's very important to keep your paperwork up to date, because you may think like it's not criminal, you're not a criminal if you don't have incorrect paperwork, but that's also not completely true. Correct paperwork, being in the correct status is so important. So just know what you've got to maintain here if you especially want to be here in the US.
That's right. And I think, Nepalsa, let's take up some of our viewers' comment. So, hi Sunita, thank you so much for your comment. America's world class university system has long made it a destination for ambitious students from around the world. That's right. The United States hosts more than 300,000 students from India, more than from any other country. Wow, thank you so much, Sunita, for the number. However, the Trump administration's swift move to terminate the legal status of thousands of international students through the cancellation of SEVIS record and in some cases revoke their visas has created widespread fear. Students are now reluctant even to return home for summer holidays or leave the US for research work. That's absolutely right, Sunita. And from the beginning of the show, we have been talking about this thing only. And right now, we can't say anything like what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. But one thing is for sure, if everything is going to happen according to the law and, all the pointers, or if you're going to keep in mind, then I don't think anything wrong is going to happen with you. You can have your summer holidays maybe from next year, not from this year, because changes are there, so it might take little time, but it will settle soon, and hopefully everything will be good. So, Napasa, why don't you go ahead and take up Ranjit's comment?
Sure. Ranjit says CVIS revocation means a student falls out of legal status in the country. An immigration lawyer to a business standard that students in this situation must hire a lawyer immediately. Students have the legal right to sue the government or illegal actions. Well, I would suggest, no matter what is your immigration status, it's always best to consult with an expert, and immigration attorney would be the perfect fit for that. And you should definitely consult with one with, get your answers, get more clarity. They know best and they're up to date, so it's best to be guided by them in the right path. So if in case you're also looking for one, check our platform at Immigration Talk Show, because we keep having amazing webinars with these amazing immigration attorneys who you don't want to miss out on. And maybe if you resonate with one, why not contact them? We give out their contact information in every webinar. So check us out and stay informed. Thank you, Ranjit.
That's right. And with that, friends, it's almost time to wrap up. But before wrapping up, just keep few things in mind that what you have to do right now is to maintain full-time enrollment. You also don't have to work without CPT or OPT or DSO permission. If you want to work, then please get the approval. Without approval, you will be termed as an illegal one. Also, always consult your school's international office, that is DSO, and seek advice from your international office for any visa related concerns. Keep all your records updated and accurate, and avoid sending extra documents without legal advice. So, I think these were some of the pointers, friend, that you have to keep in your mind. So I hope that this session will be helpful for you guys. And any question, any doubt, then please go ahead and put them in the comment section. And we are definitely going to address them to our immigration attorneys.
Absolutely. And to all students watching right now, your visa is a privilege and it's not a guarantee. So even the smallest mistakes can carry serious consequences. So I would say be proactive, stay alert, and Yeah, follow the rules.
That's right. And friends, to keep yourself updated, as this is really, really very important right now. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show, because we come up with latest updates, latest news, anything that is happening around the world, in the world of immigration, so that it will be helpful for you guys to keep yourself updated and press the bell icon so that whenever we come live with any immigration attorney, you will be notified. So, with that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and keep watching Immigration Talk Show. It's me, Sam, with my co host, Nipasa Pradhan. We'll be coming back on Monday again, same platform, same time, but with different another topic. So, thank you so much for being here. Till then, happy weekend and take care, everyone.
Happy weekend.